everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Bill Safranek Team Podcast. In this show, we look back on our careers as educators, coaches. We talk with our former students and people that we have coached, mentored, or influenced, and how they have become successful here in the Lehigh Valley. My name is Bill Safranek, and I taught here at Freedom High School for 30 years, retired in 2016, and now I'm a real estate agent. So today I am talking with Mr. Jason Losagio.
Hello there.
President and founder of ISEA Media and owner of Rita's Italian Ice in Hellertown. So welcome to the show, Jason.
Thank you for having me here. It's been almost 25 years, so still smells the same, but looks a lot different now. So
25 years.
Yeah.
Class of
98.
98.
So it's going to be 25 in probably June or something, but whenever I graduated, May or June. But it's great to be back. It's changed a lot. This was my old chemistry class with Chris Jones.
Get
It's
out.
exactly the same. It hasn't changed.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
that's awesome. I had my first year of teaching, I taught in this room, but then things changed. Yeah, so just even just walking into Freedom, like what were some of the things that you noticed changed, or any thoughts that
Parking lot didn't change, but man, I mean, they've really built on. When I came in, there used to be that big courtyard when you walked into the main entrance. Now it's another large addition you have to walk through. There's a lot more security than there was, 20 some years ago. But once you got inside, outside of these new additions that you see, like everything kind of looks the same. It hasn't really changed all too much. In certain sections it has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had chemistry in this room.
Yes, I did. I think I had him for 2 years. It was Mr. Jones, Chris Jones. I had him for 2 years. I know I had him for chemistry. Maybe it was some other science as well, but this classroom looks the same.
So this classroom looks the same. Does this guy look the same?
Who's this
Oh
Hallie?
my God. We're just talking about you.
Who's this Hallie coming in here?
How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, man.
How's it going?
Hey, hi.
Oh, Rose
man?
got a hug.
I was just saying, are we still filming, or I wasn't even sure.
Hello, Mr. Jones.
Oh, sure.
Good to see you.
Mr. Safranek?
You want to sit down for a little bit?
Yeah, I can hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
He remembers everything.
I remember being in a telescope on top of Mauna Kea, and we're all listening to the tour guide, and all of a sudden we hear a big boom. Mm-hmm. And we all look back, and there's I forget his name, but he, because of the lack of oxygen up there, he just passed out.
Yeah, it was like 16,000 feet.
Yeah.
And they gave us those. We're going up in those, I think, they're Toyota 4Runners.
Yeah.
8,000 foot, 16,000 foot. And Bruce, who worked at Liberty, came with us. He had a bag of chips, and the bag just like
I
kept
remember
inflating
that.
with air because of the pressure change.
That's
And
cool.
Yeah.
still to this date, the best trip I think I ever had. But awesome seeing you, man. I mean, it's been
Great to
years
see.
and
It's been
years.
years. I haven't
You look
seen
the
you
same,
in a long
basically.
time. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah. So Chris was your chemistry teacher.
Yeah, but I think I had you for another. I think I had you 2 years in a row.
Oh,
I thought
maybe
I
you had
did.
me for
Something else in here. Maybe not.
introduction to chemistry and physics, maybe.
Maybe something like that.
Something
yeah.
like that, and then chemistry.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So he was your chemistry teacher, but I really didn't have you in class.
No, you were
So
just.
how did we meet? Do you remember this story?
Yeah, I think what happened was, we used to have the planetarium program where like the kids used to kind of go in there in middle school, but I thought it was so cool. We used to kind of sneak in there a couple times, and I used to talk to you, and you're like, you're really cool, just in there popping and looking at the stars and the ceiling and stuff like that. And you were talking about Hawaii and something about the Southern Cross or something about that, right? And I said, we should go to Hawaii as a group trip. And I was just kind of like joking, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember I was sitting in this room, and about 2 weeks later, you go, hey, we're going to Hawaii. You guys start selling Reese's, those peanut butter cups for like 50 cents or whatever it was, $1 each back then.
Yeah.
And he planned this trip out to go to Hawaii, and it was just like, okay, told my mom and dad, yeah, go, and that's kind of how we met. And then we had the Hawaii trip, of course, and then we just were friendly towards each other through the whole thing. And then Facebook came along, and we got together on that. And then I think, a couple years ago, 3 years ago, you got into real estate or so, and just start talking, and
Yeah.
we're here today.
Yeah. So that trip we did, that was actually in the summer.
Now, the summer of '90, it was June of '96. It was a 9-day, 8-day trip. I remember all the details.
Get out.
It was the best trip to this date of my life, because you got I think, the first time I've been to Hawaii, 10 times now, and I just got back about a month ago from there. But the first time you're going there, you're on these huge planes. It's a 9-10 hour flight there. The first time I've seen water like that. There wasn't YouTube where you can like Google or YouTube something and see all that. So I think that's what made it special. And it was a nice group of people that went together, which made it awesome. First time going away 5,000 miles away as well from family. So, and there were no cell phones. So,
No.
and I actually, but this was back in the day before you had cell phones, right? Pictures meant something, right? So these are from like 26 years ago, right? And I have pictures of Bill in here and different beaches and stuff like that. I was showing both of them earlier, and it's pretty cool looking back on that. But I still have them today.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know I took a lot of pictures. I haven't been able to find them, but
I have boxes.
Yeah.
I was at my attic last night. I'm like, okay, there's like maybe 8 boxes filled with pictures from the 80s, 90s.
Nice.
Before their cell phones. And
I still have some pictures. I should look.
How about, and we had a video. Do you remember?
We did have a video.
We made a
yes.
video.
That was
Somebody
I used to
did
have
it.
that. I don't know where that got to.
Yeah.
You guys, I remember, you guys were going, you guys rented these mopeds or something like that. And you were driving down, we're on the Big Island. Almost like a wind tunnel for you. Remember that? We got a ride somewhere, and you guys were out drinking the night before. I don't know what you were doing, but you came somewhere
Hey,
late.
let's not talk about that.
That guy looked like Tom Selleck. Was
Yes,
our tour guide.
The tour guide,
I
his
have a
name
picture of
was
him.
Tom.
Yes.
And he looked like Tom Selleck.
Right. And he came down on a Big Island with, I think you're on your motorcycle or moped or something.
Bruce and Bill went on the mopeds. I went with you guys to the macadamia nut farm and the coffee plantation
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah. Bruce and I wanted to see Mauna Kea golf course. So I remember renting mopeds.
Yeah.
You had the kids, and
Yep.
we drove off just to see that golf course.
That was a fun day.
It was a fun trip.
Yeah.
The whole thing was
It was a great trip.
Any other memories from the trip?
I mean,
I think I do remember getting upset once.
yeah. Yeah, he did get really upset. It wasn't my fault. So we stayed in a few
that I know of.
we stayed in a few hotels, and on the trip there was boys and girls, and obviously as a chaperon.
Do you remember this, Jonesy? Do you know what he's
He
gonna
probably
say?
doesn't. I don't think you were. I think
We'll
you were.
see. Once he tells the
So-
story, I'll say if I remember.
We're in our hotel rooms, and Bill made it very specific. I don't want any guys in the girl rooms. I don't want any girls in the guy rooms. So for some reason, and I got out of the shower, I got out, and got tying my shoes, getting ready to get ready for the day, and there was girls. We had hotel rooms, but somehow the rooms were adjoining. I don't know why they set it up like that. Right? I didn't even know they opened up. I didn't know who was over there, but they opened them up. They came in, and then there was 2 other girls from another trip that were in the room. Not for me, of course. I wasn't that popular back then with kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah, right.
so next thing I know, Bill comes in and is like, "I'll end this trip right now. I told you very specifically not to do this on this trip right now. I'll tell your parents." Well, those girls they left ASAP. Like, okay, we won't do it again. But it wasn't my fault. But I was still guilty with association, I guess. So, but yeah, he was kind of teed
Yeah.
off about that.
I didn't know the adjoining rooms.
They were joined.
You didn't-
Yeah, maybe that'd been a
Yeah.
little
I
research
don't
of
know
that
if
would
I
have been
remember
better.
that.
We used to do all kinds of things. Like some of the trips, we used to put masking tape on the doors, so we knew if the kids broke the seal, then they left their room. But there were ways around that too that we found out. Kids were doing. But
Highlights of that trip were the people, and then it was it's just the excitement of going somewhere for the first time like that. The Macadam Nut Farm, Mauna Kea Mountain, Waipilo Valley, where they shot Waterworld at the end.
Yeah.
The big wild
waterfall.
horses, and Hapuna Beach, which is where that picture that I showed your wife when we
Was that
walked
the one
in
with the
today.
black sand?
No, that was Waipilo Valley.
Valley,
Yeah.
yes.
Waipio Valley, and just walking up that strip and that luau that we did, and the observatories. I mean, it was. I mean, and back then it was like a $1,400 trip, which it's not a lot, but 1996 that was a fair amount of money,
Sure.
right?
yeah,
But by far one of the best trips because it inspired me and I fell in love with it. Where I still go back today. I just had my first baby in May,
Yeah.
Samuel, and I took him to Hawaii. He was a little over a year old. I took him to Hawaii about a month ago, and hopefully he falls in love with it too. And we'll go back with his kids one day. And when I'm an old man, maybe go back. But great trip, and thank you again for putting that on, because I don't think I would have went there if it wasn't for you.
Yeah. We did a bunch of trips, but that was definitely the best one.
Absolutely.
I mean, it almost felt like a vacation. I mean, it's not a vacation for us because we have to worry about you guys all the time. And I don't think I could do it now, just with all the things going on and stress and stuff like that. But that you guys were excellent. That's what it made me feel like we were actually like one family on vacation, you know. And then everybody had different personalities. We had all kinds of people on that trip. That made it interesting. Yeah. So just finishing up here, since we're at Freedom in Jonesy's room, any other memories about Freedom in general or anything before we go on to the next?
I mean, look, it was high school, and you look back, you're 18 years old, and then now I'm 42, right? It's just like what happened all the years, and but just the memories of seeing Chris again and you, and then a lot of teachers I had are retired. But I think just the memories, it's 4 years of your life, but it stays in your mind for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? And I had, for the most part, I think I had really good teachers. And, you guys are both, I mean, I had you as a teacher, but you were awesome. And you was just like I call it, the friendly guy in the planetarium room that let us see everything. That's what I knew you as. And, but no, I mean, it's just high school. It was fun. And it's nice to be back after all these years.
Awesome. So then, I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Jones, thank you for
Appreciate it. I'm glad
the
I
appearance.
was here
Nice seeing you,
to
man.
meet up with Jason again.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So what we're going to do next is then we're going to go on to the second session and talk about your business career.
Yep.
Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Wow, that was a fun trip here, Jason. Thanks for that. So you graduate Freedom, class of 98. I know you went on to college, East Stroudsburg, and
I went to the NCC first, got my associates, and then I went to East Stroudsburg, got my bachelor's.
Okay. So then, what was your next?
So then, I had a interdisciplinary studies degree as education and history, and I just didn't really want to teach anymore after I did that. So I got a job and a couple little small jobs, but I got a job at to a company of Verizon, and back at the time, they partnered with a little company called Google, and doing a lot of the things that we do today in part. And I was doing well, and but after 5 years or so, I said I could probably do this on my own and provide better service. And so October 8th, 2008, I started the company, and it was hard. I mean, 2 days later, the whole financial collapse happened.
Wow.
Lehman Brothers, and starting my business on my own, and things got a lot harder after that. But I didn't give up and showed up every day, and that's how it all just started.
So the company ISEA Media, you started in 2008, and then partnered. You got some kind of partnership with Google, but maybe if you could just explain to everybody exactly what you do.
Sure. So
your company does.
Yeah. So when we start off the company, we were in the business of when someone types in keywords, like if you were like a Rita's, right, or whatever, right? Type in ice cream shop or ice shop or desserts near me, or you could be a lawyer. You type in personal injury lawyer or landscape company. We make it come up on the top page of Google. We're all on page one, right? But then that became social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and then we got into development, and then we got into some other software development as well, website development, app development. We're like everything now, right? But with Google, we were the Lehigh Valley's first Google Premier partner. So back in late 2014, 2015, or somewhere around there, Google approached me to go up to their headquarters, their New York headquarters, and discuss a partnership, what would happen and stuff like that. And so, of course, I accepted. And then from there, it's been the same. It's been a great ride. I mean, I've been out to Mountain View, California several times. I've been to their Chelsea Station location multiple times, a lot of times actually. And we help businesses grow. We make their phones ring, make them get online orders on their websites, a lot of reporting, analytics, and tracking and stuff like that to get in their month to gauge like where they're at. Kind of like a teacher, right? You study and you take the test, you give them the grades. Well, it's the same thing. Like the analytics part shows how we're doing and how the customer's doing. So that's how all that all that started. Yeah.
So, I mean, your clients probably range. You could just be a single person, sole proprietor. Like a realtor. And, or all the way to your largest client. Would be like, I'm sure, like a major corporation.
Yeah. So we do. So it really could be. In the beginning, of course, it was mostly like really small mom and pop shops. And then over the years, we've gotten national clients and mixture, right? Anything from Rita's to big corporations, and typically ones that have like multiple chains, like chain stores, right? Franchises. So we do have both. And again, it's a plethora of services. It's web design, development, app, specialized software development. I mean, there's just a lot of things that we do for them.
Right.
And it's grown throughout the years.
Okay, that's cool. So, I mean, I'm just going to use the realtor as the example again, but
Sure.
So like if I wanted to show up at the top of a Google search for, say, realtors in Bethlehem. So somebody puts in realtors in Bethlehem, my name. How do you have people that do that? And then, like, how do you do that? I mean, without code, like all kinds of.
There's basically three ways to get on the
Without
Google.
giving away your secrets.
There's basically three ways to get into Google. The first one is you just claim your Google listing. It's also called Google Maps. Now it's called Google My Business, right? And these little map things that appear when you search, that's free, and you can optimize that yourself.
Right.
Then the second one is called pay per click.
Right, I've heard of that.
SEM, which is called search engine marketing, right? And that's where, and again, it's a very to do it right, it's very complicated to get it set up. There's a lot of things that have to be done right. There's really not a lot of coding involved in that, because you're using a software platform, but there's a lot of steps involved from start to finish and to maintain that platform to keep you where you need to be, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then the third way to get on Google is another service we offer, which is SEO, which is called search engine optimization. Right. That's where, you have to do a lot of on-site optimizations and off-site optimizations. Some coding can be involved in that. And those are the three ways you can get on that. Now, the majority of the coding would basically come from like software development, web development, stuff like that. That's where there's different coding that our team would do. Mm-hmm. But specifically for Google, like those are the three ways that one gets on it, and whether it's locally, regionally, or nationally.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. So, and I've seen your company. I mean, I see. I think I saw it in Iron Pigs Stadium. Mm-hmm. You had, a sign there, and where else did I see it? On a race car.
Yeah,
right?
we did a local racer, Sage Karam, had an opportunity last year to sponsor him in I think it was Xfinity NASCAR series. So, that was pretty cool. Like teaming up with someone local and another local company on a national level. Like, I enjoy doing that.
That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, that's amazing what you've done. Being the founder of the company, and now you have people that are working for you. And
yeah, I mean, that's
really cool.
I think I appreciate that. It was a lot of work, and I
couldn't imagine.
Fortunately, I had a great family that helped support me. Was there because, like I said, it wasn't always easy, man. Every day you had to show up. It was not always easy, but it is good to have that now.
Nice. So now you become this entrepreneur and you're branching out. So we happen to be here at Rita's Ice in Hellertown. Jason bought this a year ago?
I bought it. About a year ago, I started to be in contact with Rita's, and then I officially closed in December of 2021. So not even a year yet of officially owning it. This is my first season. And it is delicious, right? How do you like your gelati?
So this is mango.
Mango and then a vanilla custard.
Yep. What do you got?
I just have regular Florida orange.
Florida orange.
Ice, yeah.
And how about Tim, our cameraman here?
It's good.
What do you got?
We got wild black cherry and vanilla custard.
Nice.
Large gelati, yep.
Sounds good. How many different flavors? Any idea?
Yeah. So Rita's in general carries dozens and dozens and dozens of flavors, but typically, in the peak months from like Memorial Day through like right around right now, we'll carry about 25 flavors ish.
Wow.
And then like from right now till when we close in about a month, we'll drop that down maybe to 15 flavors, 10 flavors, because the season starts to subside. People are back to school now, and we're on like, I guess you call it the tail end of the season.
Nice. I mean, this must be, I'm just looking out at Main Street, Hellertown here, the pizza place right next door. But traffic is unbelievable. It's only, it's like 2 or 3, but it's got to be a good spot.
When you have I think anytime you have a restaurant, location is probably one of the most, outside of product and consistency, like location.
Right.
And I think this is a very good location, and it's worked out well so far.
So I know you've done some stuff in the community. I know something about you, Jason, is that you're a very giving person. Almost everything that you do involves giving back, whether it's to the community, or whomever. I know you had a big event here when there's a family that had a fire.
Yeah.
And then, you want to just go over?
Yeah. So I think back in early April, there was a family here in town, and they had a family whose 2 daughters, unfortunately, passed away due to the fire, right? So, obviously, I didn't know who they were, but anytime, I have a child, you have a child, and people have their kids, just to relate to that, like what they must be going, I couldn't imagine that. Like I just couldn't. So, it wasn't just me. We did hold a fundraiser here. We had WFMZ here. The line was literally blocks down the street, probably close to 2 blocks down the street. People came from out of town, in town, and fortunately, we were able to raise a lot of money.
Awesome.
For the family. So that was a big win. To help alleviate something that I could do for them. But I always said, like, one of the things, I think one of the best things for me is, as you throughout the decades, and you're working on your businesses, once you get where you want to be, I think one of the most important things is to give back. And you don't even have to tell people that you're giving back. I do stuff where I don't, it's not like me, if I do something for someone, I don't feel the need just to broadcast it, unless of course it's for a fundraiser where you need to have the people know about it, right? But you have to give back. That's one of the most important things to do.
Yeah. 100% agreed.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say as we wrap this up? We're getting close to the end of the show.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I just
Freedom, or your businesses, or Safranek.
Safranek, everybody. Look, today was a great day. Just to have the opportunity to come out and see a school, my old high school, Freedom High School, which haven't been in 25 years, and to see some familiar faces. We're all a little older now, and a little bit more of that, but overall the same personalities, and they're the same people, and I thought it was just a great day today. I had a great time with you, and
it's been awesome.
Everybody, and I
Awesome.
appreciate that.
Of course. Thank you for all you do. You're an amazing individual.
I appreciate that.
Thanks for taking some time out from your day.
Thank you.
Being on the show. And it's great seeing you.
Have a good one.